Well, as you can see, I kind of made it. And this place is truly something amazing and special. As I walk these paths, I think about the times when I was growing up as a kid, all excited for another week of camp, seeing old familiar faces, because there was kids that would come here from all over. And right here, right next to the dining hall, was a place where one of our family friends, Pastor Nauman, used to bring his trailer, his camping trailer, and we would always hang out. But every summer, first time we would see each other, didn't matter if I was standing right here or all the way across the camp. If he saw me or I saw him first, my favorite play, thanks to the old camp director, Mr. Ludwig, God rest his soul, was Fiddler on the Roof. And in that play, if you remember, if you know it, there was a dispute whether the man got sold a horse or whether it was a mule. And all the way across anywhere here, you could hear his deep voice, Pastor Nauman, going, "It was a horse." And I would say, "It was a mule," or vice versa. It's pretty crazy. You know, I remember going over here. There's a building right there. We'll get over there. That's the snack shack, the office. Or it used to be, I don't know if it still is. And I remember Mr. Ludwig always letting me have one piece of candy, and he would let me sneak a soda every now and then. But here, right about here, maybe a little bit lower down, they used to have chapels out in the woods here, right? When I was growing up, I wanted to be a pastor. And somewhere right in this area, there was a chapel. And I'd preach in here with my camp counselors or whatever it would have been. Or even, you know, if I was frustrated about something, I'd go out in these little chapels out in the woods, and I'd think and I would pray to God, and I'd just spend time just focusing on life. It's pretty amazing. And then right through here, right where that sign is, there used to be more trees in this whole area. But that used to be Chapel of the Hands. And each little chapel had its own little spot. And I'd have my own little place to do each little thing that I like to do, or however I did it. But, yeah. And then, where I stand right now is the infamous Land Olympic Field where lots of various competitions and fun things that us campers would do at the time, and whether it be marshmallow relay, cream pie things, or whatever the case, this place, we did a lot of different things that were fun and interesting. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I remember before the camp season would start, my dad and I would bring the old mower from in town from the church, and we would mow this whole field, getting it ready for camp season, because the grass would be up to my knees and it took forever to mow it. And it was a lot of fun also because Dad let me drive it. And then up the hill, see, back in the day, it says a snack shack. I forgot they moved it here. That used to be the girls' dorm, both top and bottom level. Then they remodeled it, and now all the girls' cabins are separate buildings now. But up the hill here, right there, up that trail, is where the boys' cabins have always been. And the significant part about up here is every summer when I was growing up, as a kid, my parents used to be camp counselors here up until I probably got to the junior high. When I was a freshman, that's when they stopped being camp counselors. But don't get me wrong, my dad still had his basketball camp, and still does to this day. But he doesn't stay out here like he used to, because they have changed how things have gone. But right up here is the newly rebuilt. They used to be in little red buildings, but that's 40 Winks. Nice little building. Straight ahead of me, we'll get to that one. But this is the most significant part. The one building they haven't changed. And this place gives me a lot of emotion, because it's right here where every summer my parents and I would cram in this small little shack, and that's where we would stay. Good old Shady Rest. And that's how the buildings used to look like. But now they look like that, which I don't have a problem with because they're insulated. And the thing about this building, there's no installation. It's just board. And you can see the outside through cracks. And when it got cold at night, it was pretty chilly. Another one is that's still original is Drowsy Hut. And this wasn't originally here, if I am correct. Because this used to be, I believe, I could be wrong, this could have been always Drowsy Hut. But there was one cabin that always guaranteed had skunks. And they called it Skunk Haven. And that could be up top. But that's that building right there, Drowsy Hut. Just as a side note, that building right there wasn't originally there when I was a kid. Some of these buildings are rebuilt to replace the building that used to be there. Now, the infamous big cabin, the original OG, Sleepy Hollow. Now, at one point, this used to be one huge building, but they split it in half. So you have A, you have B and C, and now it's 3 sections apparently now. And before it was just one big entrance. Either you go one side or the other, and it was just chaotic, and it was the one cabin I didn't feel comfortable being in. Out of all the cabins that I slept in, I think it's still over here, and I'll show you which one that is. Maybe. Yeah, it's still here. But just recently, the church got approved, and they built this huge, very, very nice bathroom. And I gotta tell you, the old bathroom that was here was horrible. This, from what I understand, is top-notch, high-quality, 5-star bathroom. Alright. This one was actually added, I believe. No, there was 2 here. That one is green pastures, right there. And then right next to the bathroom is Shalom. It wasn't always called that. And I think that cabin I said was Skunk Haven was originally right over here. Yeah, because I stayed in Shady Rest. So, or whatever that one was. Shady Rest is the corner one. But one here wasn't always named that. I wasn't here when they built these and had the nice quality style of living. And then at the very top of the hill of the men's area, can't even see what it says. Oh, they took it off. But there's another original OG, but they replaced the roof on it. And from what I see, this isn't locked, I don't think. Maybe we can get a sneak peek of what it looks like. Let's see. So this is kind of what the bathroom, or not the bathrooms, but the place looks like. And as you can see, not much to it. But as you can see on the far side walls, you can see cracks for outside. That's all. That's what I was talking about, where I stayed in with my parents. But this is pretty cool that they at least have one open that I can show you, because I wanted you to see what style of living I had to stay in as a kid. Hold on. Gotta get this back locked up because we don't want no critters crawling in there. But anyways, that's the guys' living quarters. And from what I understand, they've added more stuff as you go up the hill here. And it kind of follows the back edge. That was never there as well. What you see behind me, going up that way. And then going that way back down to the land Olympic field. That used to be just all trees and stuff, but I guess they've put in some fun activities and stuff like that. Now over here, this building right here, if I could get my fingering right, that was there for a while when I was growing up. That is where the pastor's family would stay, because during the week for camp, there would be a pastor here to preach, and that was used for that. But now, this is a new thing. I don't know what game this is called, but this wasn't here when I was last here. They've really added a lot of new things and attractions for the camp, which is really cool. But I'm kind of the old school type of person where I like things the original way. Now, this next place I'm going to show you is kind of sentimental for various different reasons. And that's the chapel. And the Chapel of the Pines is where I was married once to my second wife. This is the chapel where I participated and watched countless years of talent shows during camp week. Countless concerts from what used to be Youth Encounter with Captive Free and Dry Bones. And then Luke Dowler and 3 Minutes from Home were even out here once. This chapel has had a lot of different things in my life. And they've made some huge improvements to the inside and have made it where it's more... let's show you the outside really quick. They still have the original paintings on the windows. And I think they even have the original paintings from the windows from over here as well. Extra brownie points if you know what these symbols mean, if you are a Lutheran or a Christian. Maybe we can get a little look inside here. But now they have a stage. They have a sound system, which they never had a stationary sound system in there before. They redid the floors. The floors used to be this like god-awful laminate, probably flooring. But they, like I said, they've made some huge improvements to the camp here, and really have done a great job with making this camp last longer and letting the next generations of kids go through this. I'm actually going to go back this way, and we'll go back down to the field and make our way up to what used to be the girls' dorm, now the snack shack, Bible study area I think they're using. Now this is funny. Right outside the church here, there's this water spigot. And I remember Mr. Ludwig always coming out here, grabbing a drink out of it. That's where I would get a drink out of the water here. Now, the nice thing about the water here at camp is it's all well water. It's the best tasting water in the world. There's honestly nothing like it, right? So anyways, I wanted to show you this. This is pretty cool. They just added this a while back. This is an outside chapel, and sometimes during the summers they have church. Well, they have church during the summer out here, all summer long, and sometimes they'll have church inside the chapel, or they'll have it out here, and they'll have it so they have a nice little altar right here, of course, with the cross and all that good stuff. So now we're back to the Field of Dreams. I love this place, and this is why I wanted to save this for my last part of my trip, because honestly, I don't think I've had a big smile on my face like this, besides spending time with my daughter and seeing family and all that other stuff. So I guess I did have a bigger smile than this, but yeah. Anyways, so right here, this is the infamous old girls' cabin. Bottom and top used to be it. They didn't have any other buildings they stayed in back in the day. It was all girls just in there. Now, it's the snack shack, and I think they use the upper part for doing arts and crafts, all that crazy stuff. Now, one of the biggest memories I have of growing up out here was eating berries. And these little maple leaf looking bushes, they would have these little berries. You could eat them, and I would always love picking them and eating those. So as we make our way back up the top of the hill, now you can start to see all the other new girls' dorm buildings, bathrooms. Another one here. There's those cabins we saw when we first came in. And these cabins pretty much end right at this Golden Rule Inn. But as we make our way down, I want to show you one thing. And I was about to walk past it. If you went to this camp, there's one place that has always been a famous tree. And that is the gum tree. I can't tell you probably how many pieces of gum are on this. And it was always a competition to see who could get their gum at the highest point. And as you can see, right there, I think that's the piece of gum. Nope. It's up higher. I can't reach it. But that's there. But yeah. And so you gotta imagine they'd ring a bell for lunch. And we'd run all the way from either that way, where the chapel is, or that way, which was the guys' dorms. We'd run past here. And by the way, over here, there's some basketball courts. And right here, as you would go to the dining hall, was the old snack shack. And they replaced the door. But if you went right here, you can kind of see, there you go. You can kind of see the cutout. This is where it would open up and they would sell you candy. And then also there would be a soda machine with Coke, Sprite, Dr. Pepper, and I think root beer. But this also had horseshoe pits on this side. And then the basketball court. They used to only have one big hoop, which the original hoop and net, I believe, is still intact. Pretty cool. But here is the original camp office. And I can't tell you, I might take a look. It doesn't look like the same office. They still have the mailbox when you first walk in. Now here's this camp. For me, wouldn't have been what it was if it wasn't for these people. The Ludwig family. This sign has some history. I found this piece of wood down by the lake. And someone that was the art, I believe, did all the painting. And the fact that this sign is still here today, that's pretty cool. Whew, all right. But the Ludwigs, Mr. Ludwig, he was cool. We'll talk more about him in a second. So anyways, you'd make your way from wherever you were on the camp. And we'd race to see who could be the first one in line to those white doors to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner. As we would make our way up these stairs, sometimes I would be down here at the bottom of the stairs, and we would wait. And then the camp counselors would stand up on one of the picnic tables, and we would sing prayer, which would be various different versions of we thank thee for our food, come Lord Jesus, be our guest. I mean, there's totally different songs and different things that we sang. But one of them was, I could still hear it to this day, Mr. Ludwig telling his wife at the time, Marilyn Ludwig, to start singing or give a pitch to sing "Be Present at Our Table, Lord." And here is, you can see inside the dining hall. Right in there is where you would get your food, and all the seats would be right in there. But I think, yeah, they took down the prayers on, the prayers used to be on the top part of the wall there, and they haven't been there for a while. But anyways, well, that's pretty much it. You saw the lake. You saw the whole camp. It's a pretty special place. And if you ever have kids, or you currently have kids, and you want them to go to a camp that will teach them the Word of God and give them the opportunity to meet new friends, I suggest that you send them to this camp. So here is a little map of the whole camp. I don't know if this is going to be backwards or not, but there you go. And by the way, this is the old camping pad that Mr. and Mrs. Ludwig stayed at with their camper. So with that being said, I'm gonna kind of start my way down. Show you what this beautiful lake looks like one more time. You know, I'm so thankful and blessed that I had the chance and the opportunity to have been raised in a family where I could come to a place like this. And when I talk about the times when I hung out with Austin, and we'd come down here and sit by the lake and have a fire and just talk about life. And when you look at this video and you hear the sound of the water, you hear how peaceful it is with no background noise of cars, planes, emergency vehicles. It really puts into perspective just how unique and how precious this place is. You know, I spent most of my my life coming to this place, because my dad and I would come to do the little things that made maybe not the biggest notice with other people's eyes of the camp, but we did a lot. And I came out here a lot. And I've had the opportunity of meeting amazing people from all over the state of Montana or other places in the world. It's something that I'll never take for granted. So here we are, back at the lake. One more time before I leave Bigfork for hopefully not a long time, but how could you not like this place? How could you not like seeing this view every single day, every summer? It's incredible. So I hope you like this video, and I hope now you'll be able to see just why this place is so important. But I can't leave this video without showing you the place where I always would go when I needed to just sit down and regroup and find myself again. And that's the fire pit. And here we are. Pretty cool. Just imagine the sunset hitting those mountains. It's crazy. Well, anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. And you can see why not just this place is special, but you've seen how amazing Hungry Horse Dam is. You've seen how amazing Glacier Park is. You've gotten to see my hometown in Libby, Montana with Libby Dam. And now you've seen Flathead Lake. All of this is here. And a lot of people don't take it and utilize it. They don't think about it for what it's worth or what it should be. But I tell you what, I've never let myself forget just how valuable and how important this place is to me. Because this is home. This is the place where I could be myself. I could be free. And I miss it. I miss it a lot. So thanks for watching. I'll see you again. Bye.